My name is Mike Mountjoy. I am currently employed by Fairfax County Police as a helicopter pilot. I was a police officer for about 20 years then. I came on August 1979. On September 11, 2001, I was a sworn officer. I was a helicopter pilot that was dispatched for a terrorist attack to the Pentagon. We were dispatched in the morning to take a photo mission in the Bailey's Crossroads area, Mount Vernon area. And on the way back to our base, I heard a ATC from Dulles tell airliners that the northeast airspace was closed. I thought in my mind that there must have been some kind of accident to close off northeast airspace. As soon as we landed at our base, personnel came out and said, "You got to come in and see this." And we went inside. They showed the replays of the airliners going into the World Trade Center. We saw the TV. Then we heard a rumble about 9:30, and the news came on and said that there was an airliner had struck the Pentagon. At that time, we started to prep both aircraft in anticipation that we'd be going there for medevac missions. About an hour later, we were dispatched to the Pentagon, and we took off. I was the first pilot to go from our unit, and as we approached the Pentagon, I could see the smoke. It was a very clear day. I tried to check in with Washington Tower, and there was no response. I continued flying, thinking that they had evacuated the tower, thinking there may be another attack. Several minutes later, I was intercepted by a fighter jet. He then left, and we landed at the Pentagon. We were the third helicopter to arrive at the Pentagon at that time. Once we were on the ground personnel there requested our other helicopter to come for support. So they arrived about 20 minutes later. My medics, the other crew, they went off to a staging area, and I was left with the aircraft. It was hundreds of people just walking around, leaving the complex. They were very orderly. It was somber. Military personnel would come up to me and ask me, "What can I do to help? Where can I give blood?" And I didn't have any of the answers. I just directed them to go to the tents and ask if you can help there. After a couple hours, it was evident there was no one coming. We were there to medevac people, and there was no victims that we were going to take to the hospital. I started walking around with another pilot. We took pictures. We saw airplane debris around the Pentagon. Just looking at the devastation, it was really just gut-wrenching. There were no provisions. It was very hot out. Finally, a truck came by and was like distributing bottles of water to us. We just stood around and waited and waited. It was really frustrating. Finally, we got a flight to take up some FAA personnel to survey this wreckage of the Pentagon. We flew them in the approximate route the airliner would have taken to hit the Pentagon. And then we landed. Then we took another flight where we have downlink capabilities in our aircraft. So we downlinked to our command center about what was going on, showing them the damage. The damage to the Pentagon was pretty extensive. The fires were still going. The mass of people leaving there. There was just nonstop sirens all day. And that was just, it wasn't nerve-wracking, but it was just like always reminding you this is a big emergency, a big emergency. You really understood how serious it was. Then we left and came back to our base about 6 o'clock in the evening. That night, it was really rough. Thinking I should have done more, I could have done more. I was proud that we could help out in this situation, some service to the county, the country. Like police work, you just go on with your work every day, and the helicopter goes on most high-profile things, obviously. But this was one of the most high-profile, but very emotional, gut-wrenching that I've ever been on in my life, not just a job. You just get in the moment, you go on automatic pilot, you do your job best you can. I really didn't think about it, what my feelings were at the time, but you don't think about these things till after the fact, like when I got home. I can't believe it was that long ago. So it's not a special anniversary for me, and it's just a memory that it happened that I look back on and remember.